I'm sending you. Please post this. I'm emailing it to you. Send it to them, the link. Follow the link over to us. Okay? I'm already live streaming. I'm Gmailing you right now. So thanks to technical difficulties, we'll be starting in a few minutes. Apologies for the delay. All right, so I was already on a different YouTube video, but it got funky for me. So people are transplanting over to this live stream, and we will be starting in a few minutes. Apologies again for the delay, especially if you're watching this after the fact and it's archived, and now you're just watching 2 minutes of nada. Thank you again. I see Jenny. Hi, Jenny. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Hello, everybody. Can I get a, I was going to say, can I get a hello? But I'm seeing people typing hello in the chat. So awesome. Sorry about that. Apparently, I set up my YouTube live stream wrong. So that was my fault. I figured it out after the fact and started up a new one. So that's why this has happened. But hi, everybody. It's so great to see you. Give me one moment and then we will get started. My great assistant, my son Logan, is giving me better lighting. So I guess I'll give everybody another minute to get started. Yuli, I like it. Milana says, I get it. It's a participatory thing. That little detour was part of the book adventure. I like that. Can we say that was totally the plan? That's what I meant to do, guys. Okay. So I guess I'm going to start by introducing myself. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys probably know me. I am Justine Manzano. I am the author of The Order of the Key. I am going to take a second to turn off my AC because it's blowing my hair around. And it would have been really, I agree, Jenny, it would have been really great to do it in person. It would have been really cool. The whole plan was to have cakes, and I had a friend who was going to make cupcakes, and there were going to be little keys on it. And now I am very sad that I can't give you guys cupcakes. But grab something to eat, grab something to drink, and come in and hang out with me. I'm also sort of wishing I had this as a call because then I could be talking to you guys, but because of security issues, blah. I do not still get the cupcakes, Michelle. Social distancing, man. So Joy asked if a in-person event may be feasible in the future. We could, after this all clears up, maybe we'll see. It might be. I mean, it might be the next. Yes, Marissa, cupcakes after quarantine. It could be another book that we might be doing a book release for after at that point, but we'll see how long it takes for things to calm down. And then maybe we'll just have 2 parties in a row. So let's see. Yes, Jenny. Hopefully it'll be before 5 years. Okay, so I'm going to get started. First of all, I want to read you a little something about the book. So I'm going to read the back. Jacqueline Madison never expected to be attacked by a Okay, you hear that? That's nerves. I'm going to take a deep breath. Attacked. Jacqueline Madison never expected to be attacked by a beast on an evening snack run. At a rescue mission enacted by a trained regiment of teenage warriors, and her night officially becomes just like a scene from one of her beloved comic books. Turns out, her parents were once members of the Order of the Key, gifted humans that protect humanity from creatures spilling through the interdimensional rifts. Unable to control her newfound abilities, Jacqueline and her family rejoin the Order. After an attack on their headquarters leaves Jacqueline questioning their leadership, Kip, the boy who led her initial rescue, reveals a darker secret. The Order's leader may be corrupt, and Jacqueline's questions could put her family in danger. Drawn into the search for proof, Jacqueline must use her guts and magical brawn to protect her family, her friends, and herself from the monsters spilling from rifts and those hiding within the Order. And Maria's laughing at me for the attacking. Thank you, Maria. Maria also says everybody's in their underwear. So I told a friend today to be in their pajamas. Oh, Joy says that some people may have gotten lost in the transition.
Seems like a lot of people here.
Okay, so that's the first thing. So here's my my book. It's really exciting to have this in my hands. Some of you know the incredible, ridiculous struggle I had to get here, and basically, I have been writing since I was a kid, over the course of years and years, and in that time, I almost got published twice, and with smaller publishing companies. And finally, because those publishing companies ended up folding, it took a while for me to finally get this book in front of my, in front of my face and hold it in my hands and really be ready to for everybody to see it. And now you guys can order it, and it's huge. It's a big deal. And I see somebody asked, where do I get my inspiration? Everywhere. I feel like ideas sort of spin their way out of regular life, and instances like characters. How does it smell? So good. I'm like, okay, so some of you guys may know I totally suffer from ADHD, and having the chat in the corner there, I want to answer all the questions and jump ahead and talk to you all, and I keep losing my train of thought. So what I was saying, inspiration-wise, I feel like you pull a lot of ideas out of real-life instances and experiences you've been through, and they all sort of play in to the idea. Just give me one moment. Could you text Mom the new link? That's probably the problem. So when I'm planning a story, it usually takes me a really long time. So I usually have the idea in my head for a couple of years. and I work on it slowly. So I have an outline in my head, and I start building on it and building on it, and I work on other projects while I'm building that outline, and eventually have enough to really start writing it. I am, yeah. I just saw Yuli say that I've been, yes, 7 years ago at least, not more like a decade. When the story about how I came up with this story is when I was young. I still suffer from depression, and these were the kinds of worlds that I like to run to when I was upset, and so I invented the characters as sort of a way in my head to sort of play, imagination in my mind, so that I could forget about what I was dealing with, or if I was sad or anything like that. And so those characters, particularly Jacqueline, has been with me since I was 17, and sort of rolling around in my head for a long time. And in that time, I ended up. I mean, I think I put Jacqueline into like 5 or 6 different stories that I tried to give her. And in the end, this became it, mainly because the story is largely about power struggle. And anyone who, yeah, I'm definitely a plotter. Anyone who knows me knows that I have a problem with authority. I maybe shouldn't have announced that in front of my son, but he just fist pumped when I said that. So yeah, I have a I may have a problem with authority a little bit. So a lot of the story here is about being unafraid to stand up when you don't agree with what is being taught to you. And Jacqueline, if there's anything that I share in common with Jacqueline, it is her authority figure issues. So she sees a misbalance of power in the order, and that is actually what gets her into trouble to begin with. She points it out, and the order does not agree with her making that statement. She wants to change the way things are done, and it's sorry. Oh, everyone's so surprised that I have authority issues. Also, I have a lot of sarcastic friends. I see. Okay, so Jacqueline has been around from the very beginning. Ganna has been around from the very beginning. Kip was a very different character in the beginning. And it's sort of, it's been a lot like that. It's been, some characters came in as I was creating because I needed people to serve certain roles. Bless you. Other people have been there from the beginning. They were just a part of the idea. I always wanted Jacqueline and her family to be faced with this issue together. So her whole family has been there from the beginning. And thank you, Tony. I wish I could post pictures in here because I would show you guys, if you haven't seen yet, all the pictures of the characters. Jenny, exactly. Jenny says some characters got cryogenically frozen. She is absolutely right. The characters that got cryogenically frozen were at Jenny's behest because Jenny is my editor, and we have a running joke about that. So they will be coming back very soon for book 2, which, by the way, I do want to make a statement and say there will be a book 2. I've been seeing on a lot of reviews, like, there's some fear that I'm just going to leave you there. There is a itsy bitsy cliffhanger going on in the story, so do not think that I am leaving you there. There's much more. I have much more stories left in me about Jacqueline, many more stories. I'm not speaking English today, do not mind me. Okay, so yeah, so Joy asked it. I'm sorry, Joy asked a question, and I saw the evolution of the characters. These characters, it was. Oh, I got it. It was a huge cliffhanger. I promise I'll solve it. I promise. Um, so evolution of the characters. The characters first started for me as Jacqueline was very different. There were vampires in the first version of this book. Logan didn't know that. There are vampires in the first version of this book. I mean, everything's changed so much. I honestly wouldn't recognize the original story today. It's like nothing like yeah, there were vampires, guys. I changed it over time. Initially, it was vampires and demons because I was a Buffy fanatic, and I wanted to write Buffy. Basically, it took me a long time to realize no, that wasn't going to work. The number of times I've rewritten this is like kind of astounding because I've been writing it for over 10 years, and I learned how to write from this book. It taught me a ton of lessons. If it helps, Tony, I still have monsters. They're just not demons; they're interdimensional monsters. So, but yeah, Buffy was definitely an inspiration. Someone, Ginny O, one of the people who reviewed, and one of my friends from Bright Hive, where I work as an editor, she said that it was Buffy season 5 plus the X-Men, and there has never been a single better compliment ever. That was totally where I was going. Hey, thanks, hon. He just said the truth, which was that the original version, Jax was not very likable, and it was intentional. Yes, because I was really trying to be edgy. But I feel like the best thing about Jacqueline is that she's evolved into a character who is a lot of fun, and I gave her a lot of my quirky, geeky characteristics because I wanted people who were like me when we were younger to enjoy the story and really get into it. So if I like this kind of story, then I definitely like my comic books. So there are a lot of comic references there. Emo Jax. It's so funny. I really hope that whoever watches this, once it's archived, realizes that there's a chat going on and sees the chat as it comes in, because if not, I sound crazy. But I am laughing at the idea that of Emo Jax as a character. But I'm trying to think of what else to say. So I want to read you guys a little bit of the story. There is my favorite scene, and I know a couple. I don't know if all of you have read it before, but whatchamacallit? I know that I feel like I've heard a couple of people say that they've read it here. So my favorite scene, and probably the only scene that survived from when I figured out what I wanted to do. Thank you, Ishmael, because yes, that's true. Give me a second, guys. I can't answer questions anymore. Okay, so my favorite scene, and probably one of the many surviving scenes from very early drafts, was the estate attack. And basically, to give you a little background now, you might want to make sure they know that you're joking, Ishmael. So one of the many, like this, a little background. Okay, so Jacqueline comes to live at the estate, and the estate is the place, their headquarters for the Order of the Key. And while she's there, there's supposed to be wards up around the place to protect them from monsters, and so that they can be peaceful while they're learning how to use their abilities. So I'm going to read you a few pages of the story. So I'm just going to totally not pay attention to you guys anymore, since you're all yucking it up in the comments. So this is from chapter 8. It's called High Stakes, and it starts with Jacqueline waking up in her room. I'm being watched. I felt it through the fog of my sleep, the idea that eyes were on me. Dimly, I remembered I'd fallen asleep with Dana in the room and relaxed, sinking back. A wet, snuffling sound woke me right back up. I tensed. That was not Gana. That sounded like something else. Something more animalistic. My eyes flew open to find a shadow moving over the foot of my bed. It took a moment for my eyes to focus and my aegis to kick in, but that sound was unmistakable. A Gorvin climbed over my footboard and onto my bed. I bolted upright, but managed to keep myself from screaming. Gorvins hunted in packs, and I wasn't eager to draw more my way. Weren't there words to prevent this? It didn't matter, because like it or not, a Gorvin snipped up my leg like I was a 4-course meal ready for consumption, and that needed to stop. I inched up the bed. The oil slick, with its misshapen skull and empty eye sockets, stared back at me. Silver teeth dripping saliva. Like a cat, it batted at my leg, muscles bunched, prepared to leap forward. I gulped and flattened myself against the headboard, heart hammering, entire body convulsing against the idea of any saliva dripping onto me. It leaned forward and growled, rancid breath wafting him into my face. I had to swallow the bile before it escaped. My eyes darted around the room in search of a weapon. I hadn't been allowed to keep my dagger or any other weapon because Lavinia said I needed to earn weapons by training with them. I didn't necessarily agree, but right now I really needed to kill this thing with something. I'm sorry, I didn't necessarily disagree, but right now I really needed to kill this thing with something. It growled again and gnashed its teeth just as my eyes landed on the heavy Batman bust on my dresser. I worked an entire summer at an ice cream shop to get that damn thing, and I didn't relish the idea of denting it on a Gorvin skull, but it was likely the heaviest thing in my room. Unfortunately, the Gorvin stood between me and my weapon. Sharp silver nails scratched against the bedding as it pulled itself closer. When saliva dripped onto my arm, instinct took over. I swung my fist into its head hard, ignoring the crack and flash of hot pain in my hand as the punch connected. It crumpled under the blow, and I managed an uncoordinated kick in its side. Once it rolled off of me, there was plenty of space to leap to my feet and run for the Batman statue. I hefted it up and swung it down on the Gorvin's head once, twice, 3 times, cringing with every crunch, every splash of green ichor that erupted from the body. Every crack of its skull was another crack in my skillfully crafted collector's item. The Gorvin deserved it for entering my room uninvited, but Batman didn't. The door slammed open, and I whirled, new weapon at the ready. It wasn't another Gorvin seeking dinner. It was Kip, barefoot in a t-shirt and flannel pants, eyes wide, hair messy. A spot of green blood marred the pure white of his t-shirt. That spot meant there was another Gorvin in the estate. He rushed to close the door behind him. His eyes traveled over me, blinking, lingering on my legs for a moment before moving back up to my face. His hand gripped the doorknob hard enough to turn his knuckles white. Then the anxiety in his expression melted away, a crooked smile forming in its wake. Dark nights seen better days. Are you okay? I nodded, looking at the Gorvin blood splattered across the long red Wonder Woman t-shirt I wore as a nightgown. I had killed something. Not helped kill something, but kill it. Not helped kill something, but killed it without a second thought. I'd known I would have to eventually, but the reality of it had been hazy, an unformed thought, my vision blurred with tears. Kip wrapped me up in his arms, my cheek pressed to his chest. I tensed for a moment, confused by his constant seesawing between hot and cold. You're okay. You did great. His next words came as a prayer would. I knew you'd be okay. I relaxed into the hug. He was as scared as I was. The embrace a moment of comfort for both of us. And hell if I didn't need comfort. It was there, snuggled against the chest of a guy I was harboring a massively complicated crush on, that I realized I wasn't wearing any pants. I tensed, and so did he. He pulled back, his hands dropping to his sides, and he rocked on his heels. So, we need to check on the others. The others. Gana. My face must have reflected my panic because he stepped forward again, taking my hand in his. Don't be afraid. Remember the alley. You can do this. No. I pulled away, my eyes frantically searching the room for her, as if I would find pieces of her scattered in blood-soaked chunks left by the creature. My heart seized. You don't understand. Gana, she was here when I fell asleep, and she left earlier, he said. I saw her in the hall. That doesn't mean she's okay. Everyone could have been woken by a Gorvin of their very own, I babbled, my anxiety taking over. We won't find out unless we get out of this room. Kip leveled a weighted gaze on me. I tried to shake off the nervousness. Okay, what's happening? How'd they get past the wards? I needed to do something. My family was out there. I'm not sure, he said. I tried to contact Mother, but she went out with Gretchen earlier for a low-level mission. I don't think she's returned yet. I'll try Jaina and Ganna. Yes, please. His eyes closed, his brow furrowed, and energy radiated warmth from him as he sought them out. Something battered the door, breaking Kip's concentration. One hand shot toward the door, palm out. I'm holding the door closed. I can't reach anyone while I'm doing this. Go out the window now. Like hell, I brandished Batman. Kip's eyes jumped from the door to me. I can't figure out if you're brave or insane. I don't think this is an either-or situation. The door jerked again. Wakey, wakey, little keys. We're hungry. The grating voice sounded moist. Starving. Another gurgling voice joined the first. I wrinkled my nose. How cliche. Sirens, they don't just kill you, they reenact horror movies before they do, Kip whispered. They get more off the kill if you're petrified. His skin was chalky and his focus remained on the door, even as he backed away from it. Don't argue. Get down to the next floor, find someone else, I'll hold them off. I wasn't leaving without him. Besides, I had an idea. Step back. What? No. He didn't even look at me. If your plan was to hold that door until I ran away, you'll be disappointed. Ducking under his arm, I slid between him and the door. There wasn't much space, but I needed his attention. I ignored the warmth of him so close to me and the way he gulped as his eyes darted manically between me and the door. Are you trying to get us killed? A hoarse whisper. I need you to trust me. That's hilarious. I trust you with a lot of things, but combat isn't one of them. I glared. You're talking to me about trust is even more hilarious, brain invader. I'm barricading the door. Get out of the way now. He searched my eyes for a moment, then nodded. One small step back. Another. I channeled my Aegis, upping my body strength, then walked to the vanity table beside the door and shoved. The wood of the vanity scraped the hardwood floor as I wedged it beneath the doorknob. My pink ceramic bear wobbled, then tipped, tumbling to the floor in an explosion of jagged bits. I swore. It was silly to be so emotionally attached to it, but Ganna had painted it for me at her 6th birthday party. It was special. I'll buy you a new one. Kip took his cue from me, levitating my mattress and guiding it to the door. Stepping around the shattered memory, dusting the floor, I shifted the mattress slightly so it pushed against the vanity, adding weight to our barricade. It's irreplaceable. What now? He asked, and I was surprised he wanted my opinion this time. Now, out the window. The door rattled again. I didn't need a Siren to English dictionary to understand they weren't pleased. I threw the window open. You first. I'll lower you down to the 2nd floor. No way. I'm stronger. I lower you down by your arms. You use your abilities to break the glass. I can swing through easily once you clear the way. He looked back over his shoulder, hesitating. If I was a guardian, I'd be expected to stay behind while you ran, I said. If you were a guardian, I'd still... I told you I agreed. He shook his head sharply. Now is not the time for this. Go. I held his gaze. He broke his focus from the door and raced toward the window, straddling it before he had time to think it through. Really wishing I'd grabbed shoes or thicker pants. Why didn't you? He looked at me as if the question was absurd. You were in danger. He lowered himself as far off the ledge as he could. His fingertips gripped the edge until I took over, lowering him further toward the 2nd floor window by his wrists. Using his telekinesis, he shattered the window just as the door behind me splintered under the pressure of the Siren's pounding. Kip's head shot up. Jax! With no other acceptable options, I threw him through the window and turned to face my fate. 5 Sirens with mottled blue skin, bony ridges protruding from their foreheads, and burning red eyes pushed their way over my dresser and into my room, brutishly crushing anything in their path. Great. Now I'll never have time to grab some pants. Tasty key. Nowhere to run now. The nearest one smirked, several rows of needle-like teeth revealing themselves. It was nice of you to wait around for us. I stared in open-mouthed surprise, my brain oddly focused on the human clothes they wore as though they could ever blend in seamlessly with the population. The one who'd spoken came complete with a fedora and a pair of round-framed hippie-style sunglasses perched precariously on the bridge of his nose. I couldn't make this up if I tried. Either I was actually seeing this or my mind had finally and decisively snapped. He tossed the mattress aside. It fell at my feet with a resounding thump. Dust flew into my nostrils, and my sneeze was almost enough to drown out the sound of the door crashing up against the vanity, the only remaining piece of furniture between me and 5 interdimensionals who wanted me dead. I had to get out of here. And to do that, I needed a distraction. They stalked toward me. With every step backward, I focused my aegis, channeling it into my hand. I refused to take my eyes off the sirens. My heart pounded in my throat. When my back hit the window frame, I released the building warmth in the tips of my fingers. Flames shot from my hand, and the bottom of the creature's trench coat became an inferno. It shrieked, yanking at the jacket, trying to get it off. The others scrambled backwards, avoiding the flames, and I didn't waste another minute. I climbed out onto the ledge with my bare feet. The icy cold wind whipped through my hair, pulling several strands loose from my ponytail. I closed my eyes and channeled my aegis to strengthen the muscles in my legs to absorb the impact. I jumped, but only fell for a moment before my body abruptly changed directions as if yanked by an invisible rope. I hurtled toward the window of the floor below. Kip's shouts broke through the whipping wind in my ears as my head hit the window frame and my vision exploded in reds and yellows and whites. I dimly realized what had Kip so upset. And that's it. So, does anybody have any questions or have anything they wanted to say? Or I see everyone was sad about the bear. Well, to be fair, Tony, I grabbed that one from the middle of the book, but yeah, it doesn't take long to get to the creature action. It starts in chapter 2. No, Maria. So I'm really excited because that's the first time I've ever read that out loud, and I really do love that scene. That scene's been there. That's one of the scenes that have survived a ton of the edits. Giovanna, yeah, Batman. I know, I broke Batman. I was very sad about that. I had to find something that I would be sad got broken. Writers that inspire me. So I have a lot. It's really hard to pinpoint like a writer that has really inspired me. But Kelly Armstrong was a huge one, and was the one that basically started me as being like it started me as realizing that I could write the story I wanted to write and find a market for it. She writes urban fantasy, and back there I hadn't heard like a lot of that. I hadn't been very introduced to the urban fantasy genre, and it was like fate. Like, I read the book and I said, this is the book that I was writing, and I never knew how to categorize it. And it changed a little bit since then. I think the order was actually originally meant for adults and was originally supposed to be a grown woman doing the story. So I think that like that really shifted. So it's not a paranormal romance like Kelly Armstrong usually writes, but yeah, that's one of my inspirations. Another one is Patrick Ness, who I think is amazing, and who actually in person told me to write what I'm scared of and to never fear writing. I went to a signing of his about a couple of years ago, and yeah, so those are two of my big inspirations. Also Leah Berdugo, who taught me that without actually teaching me, not like Patrick Ness, who actually told me things. Leah Berdugo, whose writing she was just so good at writing characters that were not easy and not not neatly tied up in a bow, not always the nicest, and had a lot of flaws, and so that to me was really important. So yeah, those are three major inspirations to my writing. I'm gonna take a second. Hold on. I need the air conditioner. I'm dying. So the hardest part about writing this book. Was that I didn't know how to write when I started. And it took me a lot of time to figure out how to properly tell the story, and what I wanted to say, and just there was a lot of difficulty in like learning through it. I mean, like I said, this went through, I want to say probably like 15 drafts, because I didn't know what I was doing, and I wrote a book that was like 3 times the size, and I didn't know how to build a plot, and everything that I learned is in here. because it took so many tries to get it to look the way it does now. And that was, I think, the hardest part, is learning through it. But I think that's kind of the thing about when you want to do something and you want to do it professionally, you have to sort of work for it, and really you learn by writing. And so I wrote it a lot, and there were times where I rigidly, I mean, Jenny will tell you, she was my editor, rigidly refused to do anything. Just refused. I was like, no, it's fine the way it is, and I don't want to change it. That's it. So it was really hard for me to finally go. It was to finally choose to make the changes that were necessary for it to work. And in the end, that's what I did. So it turned out okay. I see one that's sort of related. Joy, I'm going to skip to you just because this is related. Since there were many drafts, how did you know which direction felt right for the story you wanted to tell? I feel like it got better every time. I did make backward steps, and I realized it took me a while to realize that. I had there was a period of time where I wrote out a lot of Jacqueline's voice because I had received bad advice, in which they were like, "Oh, this is too immature," and so okay, so yeah, it was too immature, but it was a teen book, and I did the right thing, I think. And I realized after the fact that I had maybe wrote out too much of the voice because it now sounded a little bit too rigid and too pre-planned and just not fun. I mean, there was nothing unique about it. Suddenly I was just sort of reading from a textbook. And so I went back in and had to fix that and make it more like what I was looking for. But yeah, you can take, the problem with taking a lot of people's advice is that you can take some really bad advice. And it was offered by a professional, someone who was looking to was editing my work. And so I believed it. And it took me a while to sort of realize that was the wrong guidance and, course correct and figure out what my voice was again and find Jacqueline's voice again. So once I did that, then I realized I was on the right path. And then it was incremental. Then it was like, okay, this is good. How can I make it better? How can I make the prose tighter? How can I make the characters, the story tighter? And yeah, so now I know who Polar Bear is. Hi, Polar Bear. Yes, Megan. Yes, it's always funny when people say teen voices are immature in a teen book. Yeah, Jacqueline. One of the things that I tried to do with the story is make them make the characters very messy. They're not supposed to be easy teenagers, because teenagers aren't easy. They don't accept things you tell them. They try to find a way around things, and that's life. That's people, right? So we always try to, one of the big things that I think makes a good book is to try to make them feel real. And give them the right to be messy and let them do stuff that they shouldn't do and have mistakes not be explained. People do that. They make mistakes. So let's see. I missed a Joy question back. Huh? Oh, the inspiration for the characters. I don't know. Ganna was sort of loosely my sister and my sister-in-law. To a certain extent, that's who Ganna is. But the rest of the characters were more like situational or people I knew loosely, or that's really it. I mean, I went through went through a lot of iterations, and I changed the way that I was viewing a lot of these characters over the years. So if they started as someone specific, they sort of evolved into my own pictures of how I needed them to be, or who I thought they were. But yeah, that took time. It didn't start that way. So yeah, at first they were probably based a lot heavily on characters and shows and stuff like that, because I was still learning how to write and how to be original. And then that changed. Yes, Yolanda, teen does equal someone with a problem with authority, but also me. So yeah, Jacqueline though has always been pretty true to her roots, except for when she was unlikable, in which point she was just really like heavy-handed in the way she did things. Which all I did was just make her a little gentler over time. I had another question up here. I saw the process of getting my book published. Several edits, and then querying, and my book was weird because I'm kind of historically behind the trend of publishing, and I'm kind of okay with that. Like, I don't like being, the next big, whatever. I just have a tendency to find something I like and write it, and it doesn't end up falling in line with what the large publishing companies are looking for. So the Order of the Key was an urban fantasy when urban fantasies weren't being written anymore or weren't being looked for to publish. And so big publishing didn't end up being a thing. But when I started going back out for small publishers, which was after I had, quote, given up, I said, okay, I'm not going to do this. I tried big publishers. I'm going to shelve it. And I shelved it. And then I did another big edit on it, and it found its home. So I sent it to, I was like, oh, this small publisher, and I sent it off, and Black Rose Writing accepted it, and now it's a book. And I have to be honest with you, up until the point where I was holding the book in my hands, and even beyond that, because I was holding a book, my own copy, right? So even after that, until it actually went on sale, I was half waiting for it to be taken back because it's been so long. But it didn't get taken back. It's here, and apparently being shipped out to people. Logan, can you make an appearance for Millie and Winnie? My nieces want to see my son, but he can't. Yeah, he can't. You can't see them back, but say hi. So that's Logan. That's my son. His hair's a little crazy right now because he doesn't care. He was not planning on being on camera. So yeah. So that was Logan. There he was. Jenny says hi. He says hello. So yeah. What else can I tell you? Oh yeah. So I don't know if actually. Oh, Jenny says she loves your crazy hair. Thank you, Claire. Yeah, it was tough to stick it out. Honestly, it was. I've put it on the shelf several times over the years, but this was my baby. This was the first book I dreamed up, and I couldn't imagine my publishing career being started anywhere else but the Order of the Key. And I'm so glad this is the first book I have coming out, because this was kind of how it was supposed to be. Everyone's saying hi to you, Logan. You're a hit. Yay! He says, yay. And then he said he's a hit and hit himself in the face with a pillow because, yeah. So, I'm trying to think of what else we had planned to do. Oh, yeah. So, I'm going to pick 2 random people, by the way, by the end of this chat to win a prize pack. I have a bunch of swag, a bunch of really cool stuff to give out. So 2 people will win that, but it's going to be super random. So I'm just going to look at everybody and randomize it, and people will get that. Oh, thank you, Tony. Oh, if you guys don't know, I don't know how many, there are some writers in this group. If you guys don't know, I actually teach at on a Discord server. I teach writing and editing on WriteHive, and I do classes. Although I did classes last month, I'm taking a break this month, and I'll probably be starting up on classes next month. So if you guys are writers and want to come in and check it out, that you're welcome to come and join. I do them usually this time on Saturdays. What else? So yeah, so I will give two swag packs away today. I don't think my swag winners are here though. I had two contests earlier this week. A pre-order and a poetry winner, block poetry, and neither of them are here. So don't know if Denise and Jose made it, but Andrea won block poetry, and yeah, and Isabel won for pre-order. So I'm going to have to like get those to them. But I was going to announce it if they were here, but they weren't here. So I have a few different types of swag, which I will offer you guys. So someone else does not get their swag. They get their swag, but there are 2 extra swags. So I do have also some like less large swag packets that I'll probably be giving away because I just want to, give everything Order of the Key out to people. That poetry thing was awesome. I ended up having to randomize it because I couldn't choose because everyone's was so good. The meet and greet. Giovanni, what do you mean? I know she's not typing. Okay. Answer when you're ready. So I had a couple of questions, although I feel like you guys, I think Joy, did you ask me a question further up? Hold on. Oh, what makes it different from other YA books? Well, I feel like there are, I think there's a lot of unpredictability. I do go, I think, a little bit in some places a little bit darker, but not really. I feel like it's different because it's not insta-love. There are characters in this story. I'm sorry, I totally got distracted because Giovanni answered the question. Are we going to see you in person? I want to see you guys in person. But yeah, this thing is going on. So until it calms down, there will be nothing. But hopefully once things calm down, we can do something, a meet and greet in person. That would be great. And I can sign books and all of that. Back to the question. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of fun adventure in this book and a lot of, I guess, questionable. Someone asked if I'm nice in person. No, I'm very mean. I have a feeling I know who that is. Now Logan's behind me like, you're not mean. No, I'm not mean. I promise. I'm exactly who I am here. And there will be cupcakes. Yes, Jenny, when there are meet and greet cupcakes. Giovanni, are you saying I'm not nice? Fine. I'll remember that. Okay, I'm trying to answer her question, but I can't keep my attention there. So I don't know what I'm trying to say. Could the story evolve and grow darker if needed? Kind of like Harry Potter. It does get darker. And that's I think sort of the idea when I say that when I said that the story is a little different. There are some things in here that are I think I have no attention span. I'm sorry, guys. So yeah, I think I go a little bit darker than some YA writers will do. I don't shy away from certain topics. And I think that's going to happen more in book 2. I'm sorry. I can't help it. There's words scrolling on the screen. No, don't pause it. Don't pause it. Ishmael's like ready to like smack the back of my hand for not answering questions properly. Anyway, so yeah, so I feel like I'm trying to think of what makes it really different. And I feel like the idea of how Jacqueline is and how she pursues her mission and how that affects everyone around them ends up being what makes it different. But I also can't really like say much about that without giving things away. I can't close the chat, guys. No, but yeah, so that's my answer is spoilers. Lots of spoilers. One thing, another thing that I was thinking as far as I've been putting together mentor packages for teen writers. So if you guys have teens that are interested in writing that are involved with you, that you want to sign up for that, please let me know. I don't know. I'm lost now. I'm done. It's over. What was the other question? I'm trying to hold on. The story does evolve to grow darker. I think when you get to read it, you will see that the ending sort of leads in that direction. Book 2 is going to be a crazy ride, and I think you guys are going to love it. I think it takes everything about these characters and it spits it up a notch. And I can't tell you guys the name because it's a spoiler, so it is key involved, but I have to kind of hold that close to the chest until the last minute. Can you summarize without spoilers your favorite? Wait, what do we have to look forward to? Okay, there will be 3 books. Thank you, honey. I'm losing track of who's asking what. There will be 3 books in the series, as far as I have decided now. Initially, it was supposed to be 5, so I toned it down. The teen mentoring thing is not on Discord. That can be through any method that is works best with the teenager. Jumping all around. I don't know, Leon, I don't know if you were here earlier, but I actually read one of my favorite moments of the book, which is there's a big fight in where Jacqueline wakes up and discovers that there are like monsters in her home, in her new home, and has to fight them. And that is to me in her bedroom, exactly. And that is to me like my favorite part of the story, that whole battle, which I can't, I read a portion of, but there's more, is my favorite thing. What do I have to look for? What do you have to look forward to? So this is good news. And I think that, Leon, I think this actually will be archived afterwards. So you should be able to, if you want to go back to the beginning and watch, but, yeah, it was a lot of fun, that part. So the good news is I do have another book coming out next year that is not actually a sequel to this book. It is called Never Say Never. It is about a girl who gets stuck in a love triangle with Aphrodite. And basically the girl swears off love, and Aphrodite sees that as challenge accepted, but then, everything gets screwed up because Aphrodite has a boyfriend, and that's who Bryn wants. So it's gonna be it's a fun ride, and I think you guys will really like it. It's not a fantasy like this; it's more of a contemporary story, and so that's coming out in June of 2021, and cool, Leon. Yeah, so that's what we have to look forward to. Hopefully, I'm working on part 2 for the Order of the Key, and hopefully I will have that ready so that after this, after Never Say Never comes out, the other one will come out. So hopefully I will have it done in time so that we can have like a lot of books in a row, and it'll be great. And then definitely I'll have a lunch party, hopefully in person, for Bryn's story, Never Say Never, which Maria's cheering about. And cupcakes, yes, with hearts on top if it's for Never Say Never, because Aphrodite. I had keys, man. I had a whole mold for key cupcakes. It's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, that's right, Jenny. I forgot you haven't read it. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I feel like, does anyone else have any questions? I'm just going to leave it to you. It's funny. I hyper planned this, and then I totally didn't follow my plan at all. What else do you have for me, guys? Any more questions? I'm laughing at the. You know what? I had coffee here, and I didn't drink any of it. So, does anyone want to see all the cool swag stuff I got? Is Ishmael in the book? Ishmael is not in the Order of the Key, but Ishmael is heavily influential of a character in Never Say Never. Ishmael, can you come here? No, he won't do it. He will. I was like trying to get him to inch on, but he won't. Oh, you want to see the merch? Okay, hold on. Honey, Logan, baby, can you pass me the bag up there? How does it feel to be a published author? Weird. It feels very weird. I do have a writing routine. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. I don't have a writing routine. I don't. I live at home and with my son, and he's hyper, and we play together, and there's a lot going on here during the day. I also work a full-time job and also edit, and so when I grab my moments to write, it's few and far between. There is no process. It's I basically just run around and grab 5 minutes at a time. And that's my writing routine. I do plan, like I said, I do plan a lot. How do I get my ideas for merch without going crazy? I like that one. I am off topic. I'm sorry. One question at a time, Justine. Okay. So I don't have a writing routine. I grab minutes at a time. I have a very detailed outlining routine in which I'm working for like a couple of years on each book, and I just drop random bits in my outlining document for like years before it solidifies. And then like a month before I plan to sit down and write the thing, I like put all the pieces together, which sounds crazy, but that's kind of how I work on anything. So the fur babies aren't, they're not making an appearance, and you know them now that I realize who you are. They will not come out without. I know I will. They will not come out without being prompted. Oh, thank you, Yuli. So merch ideas. I went searching through Etsy. I didn't want to buy anything that was mainstream, easy to find, and I wanted to definitely try to get stuff that was just a lot of fun and key related. One thing I did, so I do have tote bags for the Order of the Key. And I have, this is my favorite. So I got her name is Lucy Cooper. Wait, I did not get her name right. I'm sorry. Hold on. There it is. Lucy Rogers. I am sorry. Lucy Rogers. And she painted these, hand painted, my Arvakian ritual books. Now in the story, these books are basically they're spells that are outside of the normal their normal abilities. So they have these books for when they want to do something that's not in their Aegis, which I feel like I should explain Aegis, I didn't do that. Okay, so the idea for an Aegis is like an overarching power that you have or ability that you have. So Jacqueline her Aegis is for the body. So everything in her power set, it has to do with her body. She can run fast. She can jump. She can fight. She has powers. Like she has added strength. So anything sense related, she can hear things from far away. Kip has a mind key Aegis, which means that he can control people's thoughts, which is why in that part that I read, he called him a brain invader, because he can pop into your brain and change things around, and so you have to have a lot of trust with him because he could mess with you. And
Kip messing with your mind.
Kip just messed with my mind. So these books in the story, these books are the books that they use when they have anything that they want to do outside of their abilities. So if it doesn't come in their aegis, then they can do things like they have things like mind block rituals. So they are able to block out other people from hearing in their thoughts, things like that. Those are all in the Yervakian ritual book. So I had some made. It's a real notebook, which I thought was pretty cool. But it was literally, I saw someone who paints on notebooks on Etsy, and I said, hey, can you do them for me? They're not real spells in there now. And I found these. This is a winter forest candle because the story takes place in the winter. And there is a meeting place that a couple of the kids go, the teenagers go in the story, that where they spend a lot of time in the forest. There are my cool magnets. Now, there are some really great people on Etsy that just take your book cover and do really awesome things. Like my keychain that I have here with my dagger and my book cover, which I don't know if you can really see the book cover that well. There you go. That's a little bit better. Let's see. The smell of the candle, which I was just about to start opening. You know what? I'll open it. It's not like you'll smell it. Oh, it smells like pine. Okay. I couldn't let it go by without getting a freaking candle for my book. I was determined to get a candle for my book because most YA writers have them, and I was like, I'm going to get a candle. There are these really cool soaps that actually, I don't know if you can see it, but they actually have keys inside of the heart. There's like an actual like metal key in there. It's a little hard to see, but that was another cool one. All things that I literally just found on Etsy or found people who could make them on Etsy. I've got these bookmarks, and they say we'll be stronger together because this is a rebel story. Oh, for the let's see, what's the appropriate age group for this book for the non-adults? I would say 16 and up. There are some intense gory scenes, and there is one smoochy scene. So yeah, probably about that much. But I promise you the smoochy scene does not get too crazy. So I found the good thing is I had a theme that a lot of people like to make things out of. So I had key bracelet, and hold on a second. The bookmarks are so I love the bookmarks. The bookmarks were designed by KJ Harowick, who is my good friend and also helped design my website and is amazing and is also for hire, just like Lucy Rogers is, if you guys ever need anything done like this. So yeah, she also made my business cards, which are really pretty too. She's incredible, as I'm sure. Yep, there's. I knew that there would be someone to attest to it. Yes, that's why I got the swag for the party, and then it didn't happen. I also have a necklace with a key on it.
Wait, can I test it?
You can't test it.
Okay.
How are you going to test it? Logan, can I test it? I knew it. That's why I said you couldn't test it. I'm going to put it on my head, was his answer. I have stickers. Oh. Liv, how dare you? I am a bookmark person in a house of I am a bookmark person in a house of dog ear people. So you dog ear your book. Yeah, in other words, you turn the page down in the corner.
Yeah. Does Dad do that?
Yes, Dad does that. I also have these really cute little. I went crazy, just a little bit nuts with the merch thing. So I have these really cute little pixie dust containers. They're like keychain things that say "Never give up" in them, and Order of the Key temporary tattoos. I couldn't do it. These cool magnets. And I think that's almost it. Oh, and I have pins. And okay, there we go. So yeah, these cute little pins that are upside down. There we go. So yeah, that's my oh, and the velvet bookmarks. I only have a very limited supply of these, but they have the book on the bottom if you look. Oh, the soap? Why? Oh, this was the soap. So I think someone missed it. Yeah, I know. I should have gotten some tattoos. I did go crazy a little bit with the swag, but I really wanted to. I've always personally like loved swag, so I wanted to make sure that there were like a lot of options for people to have fun with. Um, so the swag bag is going to be a lot of fun. I'm beginning to wonder if I like need to order more of these things because it looks like people like it, and I don't think I have enough. But yeah, so that's all my swag stuff, and it's a lot of fun. I loved collecting all the things, and finding. I love swag giveaways. Me too. They're so much fun. I like to have stuff. I just like. I mean, it's sort of geek culture to like collect things that remind you of things you like. So like as a geek, I have stuff all over the place for like of all the things that I enjoy. So I kind of thought, well, I hope people enjoy this enough to want like swaggy items in their house. Celebrating good swag too. Yeah, like thank you, Maria. I think that's sort of all I had to show. If anyone else has any other questions, though, I'd be happy to answer. Oh, I love you guys too. It's still really surreal for me. It hasn't really hit. I know I have the book out, and I know that I am technically a published author, but like I said before, when I said it's weird, it's really weird. It's not something that has truly sunk in yet, and I'm really beyond excited. And it's funny. Okay, so funny story. So Maria said Sisterhood of the Traveling Pantsers for life. I am part of the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pantsers, and I am not a pantser. I'm a plotter. For those of you guys who are not in the writing world, a pantser is someone who flies by the seat of their pants when they're writing, and a plotter is somebody who plans everything in advance. So I don't know how I ended up. Excuse me. I don't know how I ended up in the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pantsers when I am a plotter, like hardcore, but I am part of that. Mainly because the members are so awesome. Maria and Jenny and Megan from, I don't think the others are here, but yeah, are from the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pantsers, and they're all awesome. Ishmael with his brilliant moderating comments. Wine is that how I ended up being a Sisterhood of the Traveling Pantser? Because of wine? Because I think that might be true. I am such a. It's funny. I kind of can't wrap my head around pantsing, and Tony will attest to it because whenever we start talking in the editing classes, I'm always like, so how many of you are plotters? And everyone comes out like pantser, and I'm like, oh, okay, so part 2 of my outline, wonderful, because plotting and explaining plotting comes so naturally to me that I get. Wait, we don't plan, okay. Oh, I see, Tony. I see how it is. So yeah, I think. Oh, Stephen King is a pantser. Stephen. Okay, good to know. That was me. That was me cutting. Oh, and Ishmael actually said what I was thinking. Holy moly! He said, and it shows. Ouch. Yeah, I'll be honest. I am more of a plantser, and the reason that I am a plantser is because I plot everything in advance. I do change things at the last minute and then reorganize. I actually had it happen to me the other day. I had characters that were supposed to be extremely angry at each other, and when they were talking, they just weren't that angry. It just, there's this sort of magic thing that happens when you're writing where you just you don't really when you're writing, the characters sort of take control at a certain point. And so I'm writing and I'm like, it does not feel right to make them angry. And even though my outline said they were supposed to be fuming at each other, when it was coming out, it was not working that way. And I ended up having to reorganize. So I think the key to being a plotter is to still be able to reorganize depending on what ends up happening, and stay on your feet and not like dedicate yourself so much to the outline that you'll like stuff a square peg in a round hole. Even though you're in the plot, I will always be your writing Yoda, Tony, anytime you need me. Claire, yeah, it is weird doing this on without feedback from people or without seeing people, and it's not the most organic conversation thing, and it's odd. But your fingers are not in control of the keyboard. Not really. When characters want to, they take over. Aw, I agree. Okay, so Ishmael cut to what I was going to say before I was going to say it. I feel like we were probably ending about at the end of this. If you guys didn't know, and I think you all do, Ishmael is my loyal husband and my writing partner in crime. He is, he read every single draft, because we were already together when I started writing this the first time. So he read every single draft of the Order of the Key from before it was the Order of the Key. It had some other name back in the day, but it changed dramatically, and he could probably tell you better. It was Origin of a Hero. That was what it was called. Thank you. Every single iteration of the story, the only person who's read everything I've written is Ishmael. So even the really shitty stuff, I shouldn't have said that. But Yolanda, yeah, but that's it's the truth. So yeah, he's read every single thing that I've ever written. So he is the yin to my yang, my partner in crime, my first reader, the person that gets everything to me, and obviously my husband and my my moderator on this, because he hates being on camera and refused to like sit with me. So he was like, I'll help somehow. So he's moderating. Yeah, he's my write or die. That's brilliant. I love that. I love all you guys, and it was really great to have so many familiar faces in the chat, and to know you guys care about my career and about me enough to come and hang out. It really is. Oh, will there be a poetry read? Do you want to read your poetry, Tony? I was going to, but there were a couple of entries, and I actually planned to. Hold on, where is it? I have the winning entry and I have your entry, but I feel like we're running a little behind. Yeah, actually, I'm not going to do a poetry read, but I will post them up on my social media sites for all the people who entered, because I thought they were brilliant. Oh, Joy with a good question. Would I make this a movie? Yes, but I would really want control over it. Like, really, I'd be very nervous about this going to someone else's hands, just because I've seen book movies go to crazy town. All right, so yeah, I'm going to, I think it's time for me to log off. Thank you, everybody, for coming out and hanging out with me and talking books, and I love all of you, and Tony, I'm gonna post all the poetry out. I promise. Dreamcast. I don't know. It's tough. I've always said Kip was Matthew Daddario when he was younger. Which probably would make Megan very happy. Who Who else? I don't really, it's funny because I think when I cast these initially, it was a really long time ago, and none of those people actually match anything like what they turned out to be, so it doesn't really make sense anymore. My dream look for them, though, is the pictures that I posted online, so that's that. Which I think you guys have seen. So I'm gonna repost that Megan is Ghana, but Megan doesn't look like Ghana though. Megan's too cool to be Ghana. Ghana has like a bit of a nerdy presence. Yes, Jen, exactly. My actors are too old now to play these characters, so I'm gonna have to find new Dreamcasts for them. So, dude, if this could be a Netflix series, do you know how happy I would be? And I have 2 other books, so I could keep it going for a while. Liv, yes, he's awesome. Okay, so I think everyone's saying goodbye, and I know I started saying goodbye, and then I started talking again, but I think it's time for me to go. Thank you so much for everybody for coming and hanging out with me, and I will pick 2 of you at random, and I'll be in touch and let you know what you guys win, and get that stuff over to you somehow, one way or another. And thank you for coming, and thank you for supporting me. I'm gonna not cry now, but I'm thinking about it because I have just the awesome people in my life, and thank you so much for supporting me. Okay, I'm gonna log off. Bye, everybody. Mwah. See you around. Remember, oh wait, that reminds me, Kristen. Thank you. She said, see you on Twitter. Ishmael, can you post my social media if you guys don't already follow me on social media, I am there. And wait. Ishmael's gonna post all the links. So if you don't follow me already, you can come and follow me other places. But I love you guys. Thank you, everybody who showed up. I really appreciate it. Joy, did your smiley just dab? I'm obsessed with that. That's amazing. Oh, wait, that did not post with links. Okay, so I'm just going to do this. Hold on. I am at JustineManzano.com, and I am at Justine_Manzano on Twitter and Instagram, and Facebook.com/Justine Manzano author. Okay, so those are the main ones. But yeah, if you come to JustineManzano.com, all of the information about everything is going to be up. I'm working on putting up the images and stuff like that and the swag pictures up on social media. So I will see you guys around. Love you. Bye. Mwah. Thank you for coming.
Bye. Thanks for supporting my mom.